You guys just let me know when we're recording, and that's when I'm recording.
We're recording.
Well, we're not like recording though. We're streaming.
Yeah, we're streaming right now. I'm just talking about recording. I ain't recording actually officially yet.
We're live.
Oh god, now I can hear myself.
Yeah, that was kind of frightening.
Hmm.
Good thing we're on 7-second delay. Danny can put those beeps in.
Nope, not happening.
Oh God, I'm
Alright,
frightened.
so this was the very first thing we ever recorded for Third Shift, and by we I mean you two.
Fantastic. This sounds great.
I'm Eric. And I'm Matt. And we're starting up a Gearbox podcast called Third Shift.
Working on the first episode right now, so keep an eye out for it July 15th.
Oh, yeah.
That phony voice of mine. What the hell was I doing? I'm Matt. Keep an eye out for this. It's going to be coming up next. Terrible.
Oh my god.
This is my broadcaster voice. Hey.
News journalist Matt here to report in the fantastic news today. Did you see the squirrel? He was jumping out of the tree. It was a fantastic event. More on this later after we kick it over to Steve to tell us what the weather's like. Good job,
Awesome.
Matt.
It was a great job. I'm amazing.
It was. Oh gosh. So now are we gonna go live? Are we gonna actually push the record button?
Yeah.
Whenever you guys are ready, I'm
just
ready.
go ahead.
I am itching to push that record button. It's just sitting here and I'm like, I need to push it.
All right. Are we ready to start the episode? I'm ready with my intro that I'm excited to screw up really bad.
Sweet.
Yes.
Perfect.
All right. We're going 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a very special episode of Third Shift. Now, I know everybody loves big milestones. Everyone loves nice round numbers. It doesn't get any bigger or rounder than this until we get to episode 200. But this is episode 1 freaking gosh darn golly jeepers 100. I'm so excited I don't even need to swear right now, even though we're marked as mature on Twitch. But this is Third Shift, episode 100. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take these show notes that I always have, throw them out the window, and then what you guys are going to do is you're going to kick back and crack open a beer. Oh, right there. Oh,
yeah.
Delicious. Sit back and relax with us as we reminisce about the good times, the bad times. We're going to hear from some fans. Have a great time. But I'm making an executive decision right now. We didn't discuss this on the podcast at all. But I'm making an executive decision right now. I told you I would screw it up.
You did.
We didn't discuss this beforehand at all. But as you're going to hear later in the episode, people really love this part of the show. So I'm saying we're going around the horn like we always do. We're talking about our weeks. I'm starting with you, Danny. Danny, what did you do this week? What have you been up to since the last time you were on Third Shift? I'm going to pour delicious beer and listen to your answer.
All right. Well, this week I finally received all of my Japan snack boxes. And I unboxed all 3 of them, and it was amazing. I am like under piles of Japanese snack food.
That's why the camera's angled up, so you can't see it just buried to your waist.
Exactly.
Probably.
Yeah.
She's probably waiting until later. As soon as we get done with the podcast, she's gonna be like, "Oh, hang on, guys, hang on."
Just gonna, I'm gonna get back on Twitch and go under, the eating food category and just eat it all.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna do some reviews on that later on this month, and yeah. Other than that, I received my Danganronpa.
Danganronpa, baby! Woohoo!
Come
1
on.
and 2. I started 1.
Yes.
And what's funny is I played the third one's demo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very similar to the beginning of the first one, so
Yes.
I'm starting to catch the joke of the third one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I haven't made it too far into it, but I'm enjoying it. It's
Good.
It's very Persona-esque with, you can do the free time with your friends and whatnot. So I'm interested to see where it goes from there.
Now, my initial question for you is, what do you think about the art style?
It's interesting. Like they're not 3D character models. They're 2D in a 3D environment, kind of, sorta.
Hmm.
So I like it. I think it's kind of cool. It's different from anything I've played.
Okay, you like the way the characters are like their drawingness, like the way
Yeah.
the characters appear. Oh
Yeah.
wow, okay.
Yeah. No, it feels more like manga than on anime though. So.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, no, I like it. I like I like everything about it. It's weird. It's different.
Awesome.
But you can also tell it was made for a smaller console too.
Yeah.
But that's not throwing me off too much.
Mhm.
I also have been playing a little bit of Fallout 4. And yeah, just trying to beat it.
Mhm.
Doing all the stupid side missions in order to get through the story missions, and it's going to take me probably another year to finish it.
Awesome.
Other than that, just the normal stuff. Nothing too exciting. So Eric, what have you been up to this week?
Well, let's see. What have I been up to this week? Every day I've been coming home from work and I've been going into that bathroom and I've been helping out, putting little things here, coming back and saying, "Hey, dear, what did you guys do today?" And it's like all this cool stuff getting done in the bathroom. Come home, boom, shower walls up. Come home, boom, this is there. Boom, that's there. And then I get to be the, hey, while you're here, caulk up the lines here. Here, while you're here, paint the walls. I'm the finisher while they're going in and doing all the hard work and getting all the big stuff going. So we've been doing that. It's been fun. All week's been that. I've had a little bit of time for gaming, and guess what? I've been playing like Destiny 2.
Shut up. Fast forward. No, skip this.
Now, hey, I really, I have been playing Banner Saga Trilogy, which has been a lot of fun. I've also tapped into Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Switch. It's been having a little bit of fun with that. That game's hard. Holy cow, man. That is tough. I always forget how difficult Donkey Kong is until you get back in there, and then you realize, oh yeah, I've got to actually die like 6-7 times a level to master the level and get all the way through. And mind you, I'm trying to get all the, the KONG. I'm getting all the puzzle pieces. I'm not just running through to run through. So this is why I die. A lot of fun. I like it. I can dig it. I've also been playing some more Fortnite on the Switch. The to-go versatility of it has just drawn me right on in. However, I do got to say the control scheme on it is a little janky because to jump, it's X, and then to, of course, move is using the same right side joystick. Well, that game's all about just jumping nonstop and moving. That's the whole game, literally. And so I'm over here trying with my thumb to do both things at once, and it quickly starts causing cramping problems and whatnot. And of course, everyone's going to say, "Hey, why aren't you using the Pro Controller, stupid?" Blah, blah, blah. Well, because mostly I play while I'm just laying down in bed or whatever. So it's always just up in my face, little, like it is a portable system, like it's supposed to be.
Just kickstand it, man. And then controller, and then like have all these wires everywhere.
Yeah, just get 20 wires and be finagling off my belly while I'm trying to play in the bed and just all sorts of stupidity.
Yeah.
But I can get over that. It's just a little bit of jank. But either way, I'm getting in the 20s, 15, 16, I think is about the best I'm doing on the Switch. So obviously I do play a lot better on the PlayStation 4. But nonetheless, I enjoy the hell out of it. I am hoping to get Octopath Traveler here shortly, but we'll see how that all goes. Beyond that, I've been hankering to sail the seas of cheese, Donnie. We've got to get on the old... We got to get on there, man. They got an update coming free of charge.
I know.
And I've been slacking like crazy. So hoping to get back on there, play a little bit of old pirate in action. Beyond that, that's been my week. I'm sure I'm missing something, and I'm sure if it's important, Matt probably will say it, but we'll see.
I don't know what you do with your free time, dude.
I tell you what I do with my free time.
That's true. Oh, you had a really cool dream last night. You told
man. Yeah, I don't want to tell people about it. No, that's a bad idea.
That's always a bad idea.
It is. I can tell you. Just letting you guys know it involved like shapeshifters in a bloody context. It was wonderful. Good job. Good stuff.
Fantastic.
What about you, Matt? What the hell have you been up to?
I can't really think of much that I've been up to this week in the real life front. Haven't really been doing much. Come home and watch a few episodes of Frasier, like I talked about last week, and I tweeted it out. But rewatching it really makes me appreciate David Hyde Pierce's performance because his timing is excellent, his facial expressions, his delivery. But then he has so much physical comedy he does, where he like bonks his head on something and falls over, and it makes sense in the character's context. But there's a lot more of that than I realized. It's like, well, you can see his actual like theater training coming into play because he's moving and grooving and doing all this stuff. Whereas what I remember from when I was a kid is just this guy who stands there in a suit and he's kind of awkward sometimes, and then that's it. But he's like really, I mean, he's a star, and it makes sense because he won a bunch of awards for it too. So it's been fun going through that, having a laugh right every episode, finding some favorite memories of that whole series that I remember from when I was a kid. Other than that. This Sunday, watched the Extreme Rules. This Sunday, watched the Extreme Rules pay-per-view for WWE. I was able to watch about half of it before I had to go to sleep because I get up early in the morning, and I thought it was okay. But what everyone else has been saying online is that it's the worst pay-per-view anyone's ever seen. Terrible, awful.
Really?
What did you think, Danny? Because I know you watched it.
I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
I got a hot take. I want to jump in with my little wrestling knowledge I got right in my brain right now, Matt and Danny. Of course, since I love freaking wrestling, everybody, but me, gotta get back into it. Oh, I feel so left out. I just heard some awesome news. My boy, my brother, HH is getting put back in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
He's coming back. Hulk Hogan is being reinstated. And you know what? It's all the blaze in the news right now. Some people are like, no, he cannot be redeemed. He is a bad person. And others are like, you know what? Love, forget. He's been putting in his time, humility, going all sorts of events, talking about what he did, how he, is humiliated and repents it, blah, 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 blah. What's your hot take, Matt and Danny? Huh? Come on.
Danny
you guys
first.
know more than I
Go
do.
for it. Yeah.
I'm unaware of all the. I mean, I know something happened, but that's really all I know.
Oh, okay.
But I know in the Twitter feed when I was watching Extreme Rules, they kept saying, "Oh my God, he's gonna come out, isn't he? He's gonna come out in this match, isn't he?"
I think my take pretty much coincides with, it's been big news, and then somebody actually asked a couple of the wrestlers about it. Kofi Kingston, who's a vet who's been around for quite a few years, and he released a big, long statement about it saying, when you have racism allegations and that kind of thing, him being in the Hall of Fame is one thing, and his racist stuff is another thing, because you can't deny that based on his career and everything he did, that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. You can't say he doesn't. So that's one thing. But as for like, if they're going to be buddies backstage, he has to demonstrate on a personal level that he's changed and stuff like that, which is the same way I feel. I feel the same way about like O.J. Simpson, if you want to take it to a different thing. Obviously, what he did or allegedly did is terrible, but you can't take away what he did on the field. So he deserves to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame for what he did. Same with Hogan. He made the business ridiculous. He was the top draw for however many years. So he deserves it. He deserves to have that honor. And then whether or not, people like him or interact with him on a personal level, that's a personal thing. So my hot take is, I don't know. It's all right. There you go.
Jeez,
Real hot take.
That's a great hot take, man. I appreciate it. I'm for the most part in the same boat with you on that. I used to follow wrestling very closely, and this was back in the days of the Hulkamania and all that. I tapered out shortly after he retired and then came back for that short stint and then retired again. So I grew up with him, and, it was silly having him be an idiot and get himself in all sorts of trouble with what he was saying and doing. But once again, I guess I'm in the fan boat of saying, if he actually repents what he's done and he's doing the rounds and he's making the rounds and he's going and asking for apologies and he's doing all the right things, at what point do you let someone come back?
Right.
Or do you damn people for all eternity for something like that? I would say no, but I also respect everybody else's opinion. So if like somebody else says, no, I don't want him back because you can underlying he's still the same. I don't believe the jargon. Hey, that's your opinion. That's cool. But I'm personally happy to see that he is at least getting reinstated back in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's coming back in any other way, shape, or form in the WWE. But
Yeah.
From what I've heard, there's no actual plans for that at all.
okay,
But I mean, time will tell.
Yeah.
When you need a big money draw, you can put them on a
you
card.
can always put HH on.
Uh-huh.
That's
I
money.
mean, Undertaker's still wrestling, so.
True. Every now and then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry,
So-
I side railed you.
Spinning
There
this
you go.
back to my weekend. Golly jeepers.
I had to ask. It was on my mind.
Uh,
And you said everybody loves it. We just talk tangents and silly crap for 45 minutes. Well, here you go. I'll help you.
That's true. That's true. Well, the other thing that I've been doing, and I would encourage anybody who did not enjoy Extreme Rules, because I think there have been a couple pay-per-views in a row that people have been like, "Oh, this is terrible. I don't like it. Why do I even watch this stuff? Why do I even watch this crap?" Well, go to New Japan World, NJPWWorld.com, sign up for that, because right now the G1 Climax tournament is going on right now. Every single night you get 4 main event quality matches, absolutely outstanding, hard-hitting Japanese strong style. I watch that every day at lunch. I go take my lunch break and I set my phone up and I sit there and I'm eating my soup and stuff and just going, oh, yes, jumping out of my chair and going, okay, there's nobody around. Okay, yes. All right. But that's been absolutely fantastic. It is really good every year, and this year's been no exception. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kota Ibushi, 2 of the best in the world on their own anyway, put on a phenomenal match. I think it was night 2 of the tournament. I'm a couple days behind, but I'm looking forward to getting caught up on that. And then let's see, nothing else in the real life space that I can remember. I'm sure I had show notes, but I threw them out the window, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
So in the video game space, I talked about it a little bit on IG2G. I got Luminous Remastered. I've been playing that for 2 hours, just at a clip, just because that's one of those puzzle games that gets me in that trance state where I don't even consciously know how the blocks are oriented, but I'm dropping them in and making the combos, and the music's grooving and the lights are flashing. I'm just in it. And then a new skin comes on that messes with my flow, and then I'm back out of it again. And it's just, I have no idea what I was doing for the last 30 seconds, but now I have no idea what's going on, fumbling and bumbling. So it's really good and really fun. Been having a blast with that, because why not? And then now I want you 2 to guess, based on what I've been playing for the past 3 months solid, this whole game series I've been playing. Played 1, I played 2, and then I played the 3rd game. What other game do you think I've been playing? What game out of what series has Matt been playing this last week? That's right, you guys. I played through Danganronpa 1. I played through Danganronpa 2. I played through Danganronpa V3. I got Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls. I've been playing that. More Danganronpa for me. Hell yes.
Nice.
Now it's totally different because it's a third person over the shoulder. I won't say shooter because you do shoot, but not a lot. It's not tactical. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. It's a smaller scale type of game too, but it definitely has all the Danganronpa flair in it so far. I've heard mixed reviews on it. So far, my review is kind of mixed as well, but it's more Danganronpa, so I'm loving it. So there we go. That's been my week.
Well, fantastic. And I was going to state, just for the record too, since I know I'm going to forget this if I don't ask, have any of you seen anything about this Dragon Puzzle Quest Persona collaboration or whatever the hell it's called going on?
All I've
RPG
seen
site's been posting it a couple times. Is this an actual full-on game, or is this some kind of DLC pack for some existing weird puzzle game in Japan?
I think it's DLC or character pack or something. Maybe it's a limited time crossover, because I know the only other puzzle and type game that I played, sort of vaguely familiar, was they had seasonal events. So I'm expecting this to be a seasonal crossover where you could get Joker and the other characters.
Gotcha. All right. Well, darn. Here I was hoping there was going to be some really cool little puzzle game with Persona characters all in it and having a blast. Well, it's for the best. It's just another game I wouldn't be able to buy and I'd stare at, sadly.
There you go.
So we did it. We freaking made it through the week, Matt. We did the whole thing that you wanted to throw in, unbeknownst to us, and get going.
We never do it.
I have no idea how that was even a possibility.
Well, hey, as we'll hear later in the episode, or maybe right now, I don't know when Danny wants to do it. Lots of people who sent us contributions love hearing about our weeks. So I couldn't disappoint them on the biggest third shift episode of all. I just couldn't.
I agree with that. I agree. So to kick it off, we talked about this, and we're like, well, what the hell do we want to do with 100 episodes of Third Shift under the belt? I don't know. And everybody's, I don't know. And we're still sitting here as the episode rolls going, I don't know. What do we want to do?
I was like, well, I'll wrap up the
do
week
stuff.
segment, and then maybe Danny or Eric will just guide us where we need to go.
Well, push us into the right direction. So I'll start it off by thinking, I think it'd be fun to just kind of fireside chat it and just go over like the best moments, hardships. You mentioned it earlier, Matt. Some of the things off screen or off whatever mic that we don't talk about ever that have happened that made the show, better or worse, things along that line. Just anything that comes to mind. I know last year on the 100th episode, we did do like some high moments, low moments, if you remember. So
last year wasn't the 100th episode. You mean the anniversary episode?
No, the anniversary
like the year-end episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Last year on the 100th episode.
Oh, that's right. This is episode. No.
Time warp.
Guys, hang on. Clank, clonk, clank, clonk, clank, clonk, clank, clonk. Did you guys understand what I was telling you? I got mixed up with the time frame again. Sorry. Oh, God. When you go through time so much, it gets tough, you guys. So, yeah, totally. For our 1 year anniversary episode, we're talking about stuff that was great and bad. So I thought we'd kind of do in that same vein for this last year for us, but adding in just some maybe, off mic moments that were fun or bad. And of course, I'll start off with Matt since he kicked the idea to me earlier. So I got to imagine he's got one or two juicy little tidbits. Well,
I didn't want to go first because the one thing I was going to bring was
going to tie it in.
It was going to be the thing that we agreed we were going to talk about. So I don't want to start off on that negative note.
Oh yeah, you're just a negative Nancy. Danny's got something positive. Even if she just giggles for like 3 minutes or something, everybody loves it. Let's go.
I don't know what you're asking me.
Here we go. I got a favorite moment because I know Danny's got him queued up. I remember when we started doing IG2G, and it's been over a year for that. So this was a little while ago now. We're like, how can we differentiate this? It's got to be fast paced. It's got to be hard hitting. It's got to be 30 minutes or less. And that did not happen. But then the other thing that I remember is we're like, well, how do we intro this? How do we outro it? Are we going to have segments? What's going to happen? We're going to have top 5. What's going on with that? And we said, well, all right, we narrowed it down to having, the segments that everybody knows about. Top 5 releases, a little intro. Here's the Imposter's Guide to Gaming, your fix for gaming news, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 blast off. So we're like, well, should we use our voices? Should we make Danny do it? Should we? I don't know. We look up a countdown on YouTube, and we made a very fantastic series of voice clips that I know Danny has queued up because she's awesome like that. Because I told her to do it, or else she'd be fired.
Yeah.
No, cut that from the show. Sorry, no cut.
Cut that from the live stream.
Cut that from the live stream. We got a 7-second delay. Just beep, cut it out. And it's gone.
All right, here's a compilation of all our fun voices.
Excellent.
Number 1. Number 2.
Number 3. Number 4.
Number 5.
Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4.
Number 5.
Number 1. Number 2.
Number 3.
Third Shift presents The Imposter's Guide to Gaming, your quick fix for gaming news. Now here are your hosts, Eric and Matt. Third Shift presents The Imposter's Guide to Gaming, your quick fix for gaming news.
Love the hair metal.
Your hosts, Eric and Matt.
Oh, Third Shift presents The Imposter's Guide to Gaming. Oh, it's your quick fix for gaming news. Now here are your hosts. Oh, my favorite guys, Eric and Matt. Hey, take it away, fellas.
Oh my god.
Oh,
My apparently notorious Mad Hatter voice.
Yup.
That's exactly what I
You
was
do that
thinking.
voice all the time, Matt. Do it again. What are you talking about?
What voice are we
It took you
referring
forever to
to?
find it too when we told you.
I don't remember ever doing that, except for when
you
I
used to
consciously
do it all
did
the
it for
time.
this. You are lying to me. You
I promise.
I
do
think
not
that
gaslight
Matt,
me. This is not how the show works.
for the record,
this is
I
not
think
gaslight Matt the podcast.
I think they have been lying to you. I think they're trying to like push a narrative to you
Mhm.
so that you end up believing it. Because I have never heard you ever do that either, except for in that instance. So
See, and he has heard me very outstandingly drunk on many of occasions, and he never hears me go like this. Oh,
Well,
jeez, Eric.
I
Oh
think-
my goodness.
I think what it is that James also does it, so I think it sparks you to do it. So you guys play off each other.
yeah, and I don't hang out with that guy, so I have no idea.
I still
right.
think it's some kind of like parallel universe that I've crossed the lines. And now it's, hey, you're the guy who does that voice. Do it again.
Uh-huh.
Not me.
Jeez, oh Pete.
And now in the other parallel universe where I'm from, everyone's going, geez, man, what is this doing this stupid voice for? All of a sudden, you're just a crazy voiced idiot. Oh, I'll do this all the time, fellas.
Great. There it is. Matt gets to do that from now on. You know what? That's it, Matt. No more normal Matt voice.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Moving forward from episode 100 on, it's the Mad Hatter Matt.
I'm
Mad
gonna be
Hatter Matt.
silent, Matt. I'm not gonna say anything. Oh,
Never talking again. Yes.
sign language, Matt. We'll just go on the stream and I'll sign it out for you.
Well, I got a positive one. It has nothing to do with any links we've got going, but it was one for me that was kind of a shifter for me. And that was when Compulsion Games teamed up with Gearbox Publishing and announced We Happy Few. That was awesome for me because at the time, Battleborn was, rolling down the hill. Unfortunately, it didn't catch. Blah, blah, blah. We've gone over that 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy Pitchford has, of course, been saying and continues to say that he doesn't want to announce anything until it's announced, until it's out. So as a Gearbox podcast, that was a moment where I was like, okay, this is looking like a waterfall into some black hole.
Yeah.
And then just in the nick of time, Compulsion teamed up with Gearbox Publishing, and then it was like, whoop. And all of a sudden, there was a nice little net to catch us and keep us rolling and keep us happy for a bit. And then, of course, since then, Gearbox Publishing has been just starting to go nuts. The wheels are starting to roll, all sorts of stuff starting to move and groove. So it's really, really good for us. And that was definitely a moment for me that was like, okay, we might have to fall into the darkness forever. This is going to be awkward. Oh, God. And then we didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, oh, God, and sweat. And, I got the cold sweat off my head. And I was like, oh, God, okay, I'm okay. It's going to be all right for us. Thank God. Here we go. Woohoo.
Yeah,
No,
I remember that
okay.
we were sitting there talking for a few weeks there about what we would do instead of Gearbox if nothing else came up. So that was definitely a good thing that happened.
And I'll take just a spinny sideways segue off of that and say that thank goodness for Compulsion Games themselves putting out quality content for like 10 to 12 full weeks, just full on reports of here's the whole history, here's what we've been doing. That's been fantastic. I mean, sure, Gearbox announced it, but if they didn't give us stuff to talk about, it would have still been
nothing.
sailing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thankfully, those journals were just amazing, and it really took me back to the early days of Battleborn, when every week they were having the patch notes, they were coming up and streaming, they were doing. It just got me back in that whole mode, just was feeling good. Every week I knew for sure there was a nice chunk of information that we could kind of digest and just spit back out, and with our own views and opinions on it. Oh, it's just fantastic. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Compulsion, and thank you, Gearbox Publishing. Whew, you saved the day, because if you, like you were saying, we were talking about having to switch entirely to a whole different, shtick. We were like, what the hell do we do? And then we were also kicking around the idea of just starting fresh in Borderlands 2 once again, which I was going to kill myself.
Yeah, no.
Because Matt has made me start over about 1,000 times already.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
So-
like twice. Come on.
Three times.
Well,
and then
also
the
you can
pre-sequel
blame
twice.
Danny. You can blame Danny and
That's
PX for
true.
one of those. So
Yeah.
And player action. Yes, that's true. One of those was them joining up, and then that went well. Oh, Lord. Yeah, bless. So yeah, one of the ideas was to start over from that and then do like a weird like journal log entry mode of the show every week of our journey in Borderlands, which I still sometimes bong around in my head. But if I was gonna ever do it, I'd want to do it for like Borderlands 1, just because that's the one that's least played and talked about all over the place and done over and over again by ourselves. So who knows? Maybe that would be something we do in the future. But I'm just saying, this episode and all the ones prior to this could have been very, very, very different from what it is now.
Yeah, because even when you're talking about it right now, I'm thinking, if we did that Borderlands 2 thing, we would have fun, obviously. But what show is going to come out of that? Hey, what did we do? We went and did that mail quest. You know, we split up like we always do, and we got it done real easy. We got the Happy Pig Motel up again, you know.
Well, see, my idea for that, man.
Eric drove off a cliff like 8 times. He always does.
Now that you're asking, Matt, oh, well, gee. My idea was we were going to D&D it. So when we came on the show, we were going to be those characters. We were going to be them, and we were going to have to D&D style our way through the story. It wouldn't be the entire show, but it was going to be like a 10, 15-minute chunk every week where we were going to D&D style our way through it. And I thought that would be really, really fun, but I was also a little scared of it because obviously that means we'd have to get in character and just go hog wild with it, but not be completely bonkers to where nobody understands anything we're talking about or doing.
Yeah.
Our show notes would have to be really ridiculous.
And that was it. Then the show notes would have to come back into force and go nuts. And I was like, man, God, that sounds cool, but I don't know about all that. So like, who knows, man? Maybe it comes back someday, but it could have been. It could have been. Or we'd be an Ubisoft podcast or something.
Yeah, something like that. I won't say what the other thing is so Sean doesn't punch us. But,
oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
No, there's enough of those.
So now, staying on the favorite memories, the positive track here, you mentioned it earlier, how back in the day with the live streams and new character announcements, that has always been one of my favorite memories of the show. Because I think it was pretty early on, maybe it was when Pendles got released or was getting about to be released, was when I was out in South Dakota for my vacation that one time. And I took the whole setup with me, and we had a really awesome podcast, a really fun podcast, speculating all about his abilities, what he could do, or maybe he was revealed, but we didn't know 100% what his stuff did. Just that thrill of just, here's something brand new. What could it be? We don't even know yet. Mm-hmm. And being able to just pick and speculate and, you know, oh man, his one ability looks like a little hook. I mean, we did it with Beatrix too, when we got that teaser screen and it was, you know, her little ability logos with no information, no gameplay, no nothing. And it's going, what could that be? Because you know it's there, you know that's what the ability is going to look like, but what could it be? And just that thrill of just teasing stuff out and crazy random ideas sparking in your brain, sparking in my brain, back and forth, being completely wrong the entire time, but it was still just having something fresh and new that you couldn't touch yet. But you just like that kid on Christmas morning, you see the box, it's all wrapped up, it's coming. What is it? What could it be? It was exciting. It was thrilling. It was, it was great.
So I think my most favorite part about this whole thing is when we first started off and I threw out the tweet saying that we were going to be a podcast for Gearbox, and Gearbox was like, oh, send us your first episode. And that got us all really excited. And also just all the people that we've met along the way and we still talk to. And so I think the community part of it has been really awesome. And
Definitely.
As for the show content, I think my favorite parts are when you guys just come up with ridiculous things like Duke and Duke and Nuke and Duke.
Still the best idea ever, I'm telling you.
It is.
That game comes
solid
out.
gold.
Oh my God, I'm buying it. I'm so buying it.
You just be like, shut up, Amanda. This money has to be spent right now.
Yep.
It's like $63. What are you doing?
We're investing
No.
it. We're doing Nuke and Duke.
Oh, man. Oh, it could work. Nuke and Duke, baby. Bring it.
And we had the whole movie. We had the movie planned out. We had freaking John Cena cast and everything. Oh my God.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
God, I love that one so much.
I'm sure someday you'll get in tight with some dev and they'll help you out.
Hey,
She can't even say it without laughing. Come on, Danny.
I
Hey,
can't
we're
say
shaking her
anything
head.
without laughing, so that doesn't even tell you anything.
We're slowly getting there, you know. There might be
That's
some
true.
fun things in the future for us. Maybe we can start to persuade these individuals to start working towards Nuke and Duke. It's a possibility.
It is possible.
Mhm.
If you cry and whine and yell and scream long enough, people give you what you want. This is a fact.
Mhm.
This is a fact. Yeah, no, Matt. I know you don't want to say yes to this. I know you don't want to, but you know it's the actual truth. People who whine the most get the most.
Unless
people
they
who
have a
just
way
shut
of
up and
just
march.
cutting you off and just
Yeah,
going, okay,
Exactly.
blocked on Twitter, you're gone.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about Facebook and Twitter. I'm talking about, real life in your face.
Uh,
In your face! That's how we get things done. God.
So where are we going next, guys?
Oh, sorry, I cut you. I thought you were going to keep going. I did have one more I was thinking about.
is
And
this
now
a
I-
positive one? Because maybe
Yeah,
I
let's-
should bring us down before.
Oh,
we
you
go
want
back
to
up
swoop
at the
us
end.
up and go?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had another decent one. So, sorry. Let's hang on. Get on your boy. Get your seats ready. All right, the roller coaster's about to dip down to the dark side. Here we go. Yeah.
Now, I had talked
Or
with
did I
Eric
just
about.
poop? I don't know.
Oh God. Do we need to pause the stream?
No, I said, or did I just?
Do you need to excuse yourself?
It's fine. I'll just sit here in it and just be happy.
This is what I have to deal with every episode, everybody. All you
Hey, you
people
know what?
watching on
I
Twitch.
want to
this
give
is-
everybody the real deal. I don't want them thinking this is all fine and dandy. Every moment's edited and proper. Negative. This is what you get. This is what Matt has to deal with. It's me cutting in with tangents and ridiculousness, and then he just sighs and stares, and then it just fuels me. It makes me better.
You know, one of my saddest memories about the show is having to deal with this crap every week. Yeah, jeez.
Oh.
But I did talk about Eric with this off air and saying, hey, I think this is fair game now. Enough time has passed. Bygones are bygones. Everybody's. I don't know how to smooth it better than say, hey, bygones are bygones. But this was one of the low points of the show. I don't know if anybody remembers. After a point, we're like, yeah, woohoo. And then there were like 2 episodes where everything got really dark and we were all sad and grumpy. And I had to get my golden mask out to
Yes.
salvage.
Yep.
Well, see, nobody's ever asked what happened, but I'm just going to say what happened because this is one of the low moments of Third Shift over the 2 years that we've been around here.
I'm
I don't know,
gonna
now I
insert
feel
a
like I
violent
should
clip.
say it.
You're just bringing out this nasty, dirty thing, man. Oh my God, it's coming out. No, I don't
No,
like
see,
it.
it's been long
I don't
enough.
like
see,
it.
see, when I think about it, I don't even get sad anymore. It's been so long, it doesn't even
Yeah,
matter.
no, I don't actually care.
Plus, we got good stuff moving and grooving coming up. It's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But I remember one of the last big live streams that they did for Battleborn, so it's been quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Was at the end of the live stream, they put up where they said, hey, what we really love is this whole community. We love everybody who's done anything with the game, especially you guys out there. And we've been rocking and rolling for like 30 some episodes by that point, at least maybe.
Yeah.
Every week, putting out an almost hour-long episode, mostly about Battleborn at that point. Talking all about it, spreading the good word, getting conjecture land and all kinds of crazy analysis. And they went, thanks to all you people who made this game such a great thing. And they put up a list of people's names on it, people's names just up on the screen, and we were not a single one of those names. Some of those people on there, I know Danny even went, she texted me, she went, who the F is that? No
Yep.
names, so I'm not
Yep.
going to say anything. She went, who the F is that person even?
I don't even know that person.
And some of them, were the usuals, Bea, Mental Mars, all the
Mhm.
people who've been there from the beginning and are big up in the streams and everything. But Third Shift was not mentioned. And I know I threw my show notes already, so I don't have something big to throw. But we all went, what the hell's going on? Where are we? There we go. That's nice and loud in the microphone. There
Mhm.
you go.
Oh yeah, break that mic.
And so that was, for a couple weeks, it was, why do we even do anything? Nobody likes us. Nobody pays attention to us. What the heck's going on here?
Mhm.
And then, we just kept rolling because that's what you do as a podcast unless you want to be eaten. But we didn't want to be eaten, so we just kept rolling. kept interacting with fans. I think after that was that before or after we had Sean on? I think it was. I'm sure we had some guests after that. I know Ash was after that, definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We kept rolling. We kept getting good stuff done. We had, new games were coming out. Fortnite came out after that, and we had stuff to do there. So it just kind of, it's smoothed over. It's in the past. It's history now. But if anybody ever did wonder why we were really grumpy on those episodes and why my golden mask had to come out, that is exactly why. Because after putting out content all the time, oh man, there's a name I really want to mention, but they said no
Don't do it.
names.
No names.
Someone who
No, I already know
No,
who you're
all right,
talking
all
about.
right.
Don't even do
Is
it.
it the person
right.
we discussed earlier today?
no,
Oh wow. Okay.
that was mentioned earlier, but
It's like a ship. So
no, nothing. No,
Oh, okay.
Stop it. But we were putting out content on the regular every single week,
Yeah.
and one or more of these people was not producing any content at the time, hadn't been for months,
Oh, okay.
and that person was listed on there.
Uh-huh.
So again, no names, no hard feelings anymore. But that's just one of the really strong memories because Eric brought it up. You did it actually this morning. You're the one who brought it up. You went, oh, what was it that we all got really mad at? And like, what? Some of us were like, we should just quit. And I was like, there's the perfect thing to just bring the show straight down. Happy 100th episode.
Hey, that was
Memories.
for me talking to you. That wasn't necessarily had to go on the show. But now that you mention it, I actually am glad though that you brought it up because, like you said, at that point that happened and it kind of just demoralized all of us, and then really hit me. And then I had to sit there and I was thinking, like, why am I doing this? Why am I even here? And and I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping, oh man, we'll start podcasting, doing this. We're gonna get in on this. They're gonna love us. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be all sorts of cool stuff. We're gonna be so cool. Gearbox is gonna be the bestest thing in the world. Oh yay! None of that came to pass. But what I learned is that I didn't need it to.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's true.
When that happened, like I said, I sat down. I'm like, am I doing this for me because I actually just want to podcast and do stuff, or am I doing this to get something or get attention, et cetera, et cetera? And well, here we are, still moving. So obviously, I went, I'm just doing this because I enjoy it. At the end of the day, even though sometimes it's just like I don't want to go down there and do this right now. I want to drink a beer and play a video game. Blah 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 blah. I do it because I enjoy it. I want it. I want to hear it. I want to be part of the community. I want to make sure everyone who listens and does enjoy what we put out there gets what they want and has a good time with it. And every single time anybody in the community says, man, you guys are retarded, and I laughed at that dumb comment, this or that, I go, yes. Every single time someone says, Eric, you are so stupid, I go, yes. I did it. I did my job. Exactly. Thank you. Well, see, once again, it just means I'm happy. I'm doing my job. Whatever.
Yeah. And I did want to spin this into the discussion a little later in the episode, but talking about favorite parts of the podcast and least favorite parts of, the process of doing it. One of my favorite things is just, like you said, sometimes, I got to put the show notes together. I don't really feel like doing it, especially for IG2G. I got to look stuff up. Nothing's really coming to mind. But once I'm sitting here in front of this microphone, in front of this laptop, looking at you, and we're like, all right, 3, 2, 1, go. We're going to do this for like an hour, hour and a half, however long it takes. It's just fun. No matter what we're talking about, even if it's sad news, bad news, games that are dark and depressing, I have fun doing this, talking to you, Eric, my friend, and then you out there, the listeners. It's a blast. Doing the podcast itself is enough fun that, just like you said, it would be nice to get extra stuff, but I don't need it. This is enough. This is fun.
Yeah.
I concur. See, I knew we could spin that. We could spin anything. I can take that top and I can spin it so damn hard. You don't even know what we were talking about 3 minutes ago. Woo,
That's true.
misinformation. That's what I'm all about.
Oh man.
What's that even mean? I don't even know.
I don't know what half the things mean that come out of your mouth.
Oh, obviously.
She's getting shots in while
I was
she's on
gonna
the
say,
show.
That's
Jeez.
another
you know,
That's
when I'm
another
hanging out with
favorite part of
Danny,
the
it's all
show.
nice, and then she gets on here and she just starts hitting me in the
I'm so
face, and
mean.
just slapping me. I know. I'm
People
like,
are
"What?"
watching.
She's out of monkey slap range. She's just, I'm here behind my keyboard, and my computer screen. Doo-doo-doo-doo. She's a Skype troll, is what she is. She's a Discord
Mhm.
troll.
Discord troll.
Yo, that's me. No, I think that's one of my favorite parts of the show is just listening to the crazy words that you make up.
Nice.
And then when you flub, it has to stay in the show because you go off on a tangent, you run with it, and so does Matt. So I have to leave it in the show.
Mhm.
And that's why I don't edit you as much as I edit Matt.
Yeah, because Matt always hard stops. That just
Yeah.
goes back over.
But
Well,
that's one of the things that just makes that's you. That's your thing.
yeah, it's fun. It is fun. I enjoy it. I do it at work. I do it at home. I do it on the show.
Yep.
It's just the way.
Now, to be fair, she doesn't have to edit me as much anyway.
No,
I'm
I made
great.
that sound really bad.
Yeah, I
Oh,
am really
Lordy.
pretty much perfect.
Mhm.
Every now and then I might just go, oh, I didn't word that exactly the way I wanted to. Let me go back and redo that part.
Yeah, that's totally
Right.
how it goes.
I adjust my monocle. I left my top hat in the other room, but
Terrible. That's all right. It's all right. So, man, I don't know. I felt like that wasn't even bad. We just rolled right into the good again.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
No, before we get into any more positives or anything else that anybody else wants to mention, anything else, any spots about doing the show that is or are a pain in the butt? Anybody got anything?
editing out Eric's sniffs.
Yeah.
My allergies, man.
And your clinky drink.
I
That's
don't
why I
have
got beer this time, you know? No
yeah,
ice in it.
Matt slaps the microphone and
That's it.
hands.
Yeah, his hands, man, is wild.
I gotta do hands because I feel like if I'm doing hands down here,
Yeah.
nobody can see. Like, guess what I'm
And
doing
then it
right
looks
now,
like you're
Eric?
doing something really horrible.
But like my shrugs always have to come like up here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You people on the stream could see what I'm talking about. So you got to gesture and point, and it's got to come up, and that's what
And
this,
then you
this,
smack
this is
the
the arm.
stand.
And then
Just- oh, there it goes.
Just like that.
God.
And now the streamers are like, all right, I'm out. This sucks.
Mm.
Guys are crazy, ridiculous. I'm out.
Yeah, we are. Stick around.
Exactly.
Hey, we got 4 people watching the stream. Hey,
Awesome.
Hell
4
yeah.
people.
What's up, 4 people? I can't see you, but Danny can see you.
We had up to 7 at one point.
Nice. God bless.
Welcome
All
to
right.
the Sega CD era. This
Yeah.
A plus.
Oh, man. We got to get you that stupid webcam someday.
I have one. It's just the quality is too good. Remember what time I tried to use it? It froze Skype and destroyed it.
Oh.
That is true. Well, we should try it with Discord at a later date and time. See what happens.
Okay.
So, anywho's back on topic. What the hell? So, where we want to move next? We've had some good moments, bad moments.
I have clips from the show. If we want to roll into
Ooh.
that.
I'm down with that.
Sure.
Down with
Let's
that.
do it.
All right. All right. So this is one Matt asked me to pull. This is from episode 1. You
Oh,
Can't
yeah,
Be
yeah.
Howard.
Oh, God.
This isn't necessarily a funny clip. It's just to show everyone where you guys started and where you are now.
Yeah.
So the big thing this week was they announced the details of the Lootpocalypse, which they had initially announced in last week's battle plan that was coming up. So for story mode, that's going to give you upped legendary drop rates, and major enemies are going to have a chance to drop even better gear for you. So
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I've been itching to get my crew into some story modes to get more legendaries because I only have like 9 or 10, and I've seen loadouts with a ton of them in there, and frankly, I want it. Who doesn't want the legendary loot? So, definitely looking forward to the increased drop rates, and it's finally an excuse to get everybody into the advanced modes, seeing as how I'm just a casual scrub, and I've only been doing the normals.
Yeah.
Please don't judge me.
please don't judge us.
And we did eventually get there. We did.
Yeah.
We got better.
But
Oh,
we never
yeah.
got where I wanted to be.
Well,
No.
I noticed a lot from just going back and listening to the clips that Matt was very low energy. He was just kind of chill radio voice Matt.
Yeah.
And Eric was every 2 seconds.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I went
But
back
yeah.
and listened to that episode, especially as that goes on. You hear me go, yeah, I'm really excited about that. That's going to be like 8 times. I'm like, yeah, that's pumped. Can't wait for that. That's really thrilling.
Yeah.
Great.
Seeing
So,
and listening
yeah.
to that is awesome, though. I do enjoy it. Seeing where we've gone to. It's like, oh, yeah. But I do want to say, in the context of what was being said, we were just bouncing into advanced modes. And I wanted to make sure you guys understand. We never, ever got all the golds and all the platinums for all that.
No.
To this day, it never happened. And I am still pissed about it because we could have. So, I'm just saying, I'm disgruntled because I wanted it and we didn't get it. I'm like a little kid that didn't get the lollipop.
Well, see, when we were on our tear, though, that's when the story ops had that glitch where you wouldn't get rewards. Like, you got no medals. And we're just like, yeah, we're going to get through all the story ops and do the things. And, like, the first 2 gave them, and the other ones didn't. So I specifically remember a night where we ran through the story ops like 3 or 4 times and just going, oh, what's going on here? Look it up. Oh, it's glitched.
Yeah, for those you were right. It was glitched up. We weren't getting it. But just for the regular stories, we never did go back and platinum all those.
Right.
Which was always a sad day for me. I did end up going back and getting the heroics and the oh man, the one where you couldn't die.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, I ended up going doing those. But we never did it as a team. And I still to this day wish we'd done it.
Yeah, I wish we had to, but at the same point, I remember us when we were trying the advanced. I think we tried it. We might have tried an advanced heroic once, and it was such a disaster because we got all the bad rolls. Like all the wrong enemies spawned, and they just swept us that whole time. Now, maybe if we had our Pendles Alani team at that point, we would have been fine. But I just remember just a miserable experience when we tried it. We went, all right, sometime later, and we just later just never happened.
Yeah, and to be fair as well, we were in PvP all the time.
Yeah.
So it kind of made it hard. It's like, oh, let's get on. Do you want to do some stories? Nah, let's just kick in some PvP, drink some beers, have a good time. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what we did.
Yeah.
And just thinking of the time when we only had 10 legendaries too, instead
Oh
of
my
like
goodness,
dupes of every legendary in the whole game. Just, oh, I gotta buy another bank slot to even get the rewards from this story op we did.
Yeah.
Ludicrous.
we were so new, such little babies back then.
That's true.
So yeah, I noticed as I went along listening to the clips that we started getting a little tighter, and the format of the show got a little tighter. Little more confidence and more energy was put into it. And this week got much longer.
As it should be.
Grew, yeah. Because first it was just like, yeah, I did this. That was my week. How about you? So that was cool to listen to that progression.
Gotta fill time sometime. Somehow
Yeah,
when news is slow, you know.
I was gonna say I just began copycatting Matt for the most part because he started just going on and on with his week, and I went, "Sweet, all right, I could do that too. I want to talk about my week, hell yeah."
And people love it, so I mean, really though, most successful podcasts that I listen to or used to listen to that are dead now, they're like, "Oh, what did you do this week?" And even if it's just in the game, hearing, you know, "Oh, I've been playing this character a lot," or "I've been trying to level up this weapon," or "do this quest," or whatever, it brings more life to it than just, "Hey, it's me, Eric and Matt. Attack damage is up 4.2% this week. All right, bye." Because then who are we? We are just the patch notes. We're Microsoft Sam reading the patch notes.
Yeah.
So it's gotta come to life. My favorite podcasts are ones where I feel like I know the people who do them. So it just kind of naturally evolved that way.
Hey, I agree. I'm glad we did it. I still enjoy doing it. Some weeks more than others, obviously. A lot of times I got almost nothing to talk about, but I got to try to spit something right out my rear end.
Mhm.
That's all right. That's the way it goes. And a lot of times I'm swamped in the basement with floods and house projects, and Matt's eating
Yeah.
bugs in the stream.
What's,
In his
what's in your
beer, he's got
beer?
bugs.
It's got floaties in it.
It's got bugs in it.
Gross.
It
What's
doesn't
in your
have
beer?
bugs in it.
No, Matt. I don't want to. I'm just trying to
What's-
tell you the truth. It's little gnats. They love to fly into beer and liquor.
No,
They get
it's
in there and then they
it's,
just.
it's the beer. If you could see it, you would know. Whatever. I'm just gonna drink it.
Well, that's probably just dead rat that's disintegrated into beer now.
You
Yum.
So
see
it's
it?
like,
Do you see it in there? He's a little.
Yeah.
beer
I can
residue.
see
Oh,
your
that's
HD
disgusting.
camera.
ooh. So for anybody not in the stream and anybody listening to this podcast tomorrow, Matt just drank disintegrated rat
Yeah.
in a beer can.
Yep.
Fantastic.
It's tasty.
Well,
As long as it tastes good, that's what matters.
I have always said that exactly. If it tastes good, I'm eating it. I don't care.
I do anything once. I always say that too. So
Well, I got a proposition for you, Matt.
Yeah.
A couple
Okay,
bodies
I
have
would-
turned up.
What?
Right.
What?
Nothing, Danny. It's fine.
So what's the next clip from the show, Danny? What did you pull out?
I'll
for?
talk to you tomorrow
so
about it.
moving
What?
on. All right. So this was from episode 6, titled Johnny Mac's Rank.
Hell yeah.
I don't even remember what half these are, so I'm like gonna be listening to them for the first time again.
Excellent.
Free idea for you, Gearbox. Put a bear in Battleborn. You don't even have to give him abilities. He's just a bear.
Just a bear.
I remember this.
Just a big bear. Big old grizzly bear.
His L1 is roar. His R1, he eats a fish.
Or eats Benedict.
There you go.
That's a better
Yes.
idea. That's a better idea.
Works perfectly.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, beautiful. Yes. Oh, I love it. Anyways, back to topic. Jesus.
Excellent. I remember the bear. Our
I
buddy eats a
forgot all
fish.
about it. I forgot. Better yet, he eats Benedict. Bam.
The hate started even as early as episode 6.
Mhm.
Episode
God.
6. He was already going into trash can bird form. What I just loved is my fascination with bears from about episode 2 or 3 all the way through like episode 15, 20.
Well, you
It's
went
like-
to Alaska, and that's where
Exactly.
it started.
You wanted to fight a bear.
Yeah.
Well, remember, no, it began before that, and then
Did it
I
really?
hyped the show up to say that I was going to Alaska, and then I was in there and I was doing that, and then we came back because I was in Alaska during our first or second Talented Tuesday,
Oh, okay.
whatever that one, whenever that fell, that's when I was doing Alaska.
Mhm.
Because I remember you guys were like, Eric, come on, where's your Talented Tuesday,
Your
dude?
submission.
It's our first one. We gotta do it. And I'm like, I'm in Alaska. It's like 6 in the frickin' morning over here. I'm just trying to draw on a stupid scrap piece of paper. Yes, I remember that. And so that whole thing, I was just bears. It was just on my mind. I kept saying I was gonna kill a bear, and I did. I killed the bear. It was fantastic.
Yeah, you're lying. Just get out of here.
Just
See,
let
this
me
is my
live.
favorite part of the show, actually. Take it back to favorite things you do is when Eric hypes something up and I just punch him right in the stomach.
Nope. Then he's so defeated afterwards. Oh man.
It fuels
But
my soul. It makes
but
me
I'm
so
like-
happy. Look at the smile on my face right now.
But I'm like a stupid kid. I bounce right back.
It's
5
true.
seconds later, hey guys,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
back. Where is
And we'll
it?
come up with an even better story that he can't with you.
That's right. From the man who says he knows nothing about what I do in my real life. Sure likes to try to just dash all my dreams and hopes and
I know you don't do
Fake
anything
stories.
cool. You do projects, you don't spend money, and you run around with children. There you go. There's 3 things Eric does in his real life.
hey,
He plays those
projects are
same
fun.
4 games over and over again.
Well, that's
Ah,
true.
look at that face.
Destiny, World of Warcraft,
Warcraft, Division.
Little Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I feel like there's a rotating 4th in there. Come on.
Sure.
That's all
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
There's
Whatever's
always been
whatever you
Monster
name.
Hunter.
Yeah.
All right, we ready?
Oh, yeah.
I almost forgot.
This is from episode 18. Can't help myself.
We had a magical night where the stars were lined up.
Oh, it was great.
I think some stardust had come through my roof onto my little face. Might have been cocaine, but I think it was stardust. I'm not sure which.
I came home, I saw little pixies flying around my PS4, and I went, "What are you doing?" And they went, "Yeah," and vanished into the air. Now I know.
Disclaimer: I don't do cocaine.
Allegedly.
Drugs are bad.
Supposedly.
Supposedly, that's what they tell me. That's what the sheet says. I gotta say.
Yeah, we have a new lawyer person who sits next to Eric and writes down the things he can and can't.
That never went through real well.
Oh, God.
But anyway.
So with all that cut out of the show, how was your week, Eric? What happened?
Fantastic.
So that didn't get cut out of the show.
No.
Oh my God. I will say some of my favorite things. Yeah, I can mention it on the show. I won't be very specific. Some of my favorite things are things that do have to get cut from the show. Like Eric will serve off just a softball of a segue. And I actually used it last week because I didn't like the Battleborn free rotations. Like, oh, speaking of terrible, how about it's like, oh, well, we can't use that. So anyway, next up we have the patch notes for fight. It's like there's so many really good segues that have to get cut, so many good jokes, so much fun stuff. And it all ends up on the cutting room floor, and some of it I can't even put into the reels or anything. It's just that foul. I mean, Eric, me, so you can imagine the kind of stuff we come up with.
No, you can't.
But-
I was gonna say there's probably some stuff.
You can't.
But see, that's why doing the podcast is so much fun. I have such a fun time. It's just you get these moments that just you hear it on the blooper reel sometimes too. We're just laughing and laughing. You hear it on the show. We're just busting out laughing, having a great time. And it's just that's what the podcast is. That's it.
Well, and I get to repeat it in the morning sometimes too, because I'll be sitting there on the machines, just going, listening to some random podcast, doing this or that, and then it hits me. And I go, Danny's listening right now to what we said last night. And then I just start maniacally laughing again. I'm just like, she's gonna be so angry.
You get a message from me. You guys, come on.
This is getting ridiculous. I thought we said we were going to start doing podcasts where we didn't edit anymore. I don't want to do it anymore.
That's my favorite part is when you always text me something. You'd be like, really? Turtles on parade? And I go, what are you talking about?
Yeah, remind me of the context, please.
What did we say?
And then there was that one really good time where I don't know what kind of funky mood we were in. We were just like ripping on you for like a good 10 seconds. And I was like, oh shit, I'm speaking into the microphone. It's going through that wire in my computer and straight into her ear hole. And I went,
like, oh
Danny's
gonna hear this. Yeah, it was a devastated oh no.
I just remember
think
having
that
like
ended up in the bloopers.
I'm sure it must have.
Because I put a comment on it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I just remember I looked up at Eric and he had this like look on his face.
I was at like a little
I just said that in the podcast.
I just remember like a little shit-eating guilty grin on my face, like, this is not good. Nope, we just did a bad thing.
It was like we just kept rolling and suddenly you just went.
It was silent. All right, moving on.
Why is Eric not like laughing and having a great time? Oh, no.
He should be laughing. No, that's not nice. Daddy's gonna be angry tomorrow. Then Matt's like, we could redo this part. No,
we can't possibly sync it up.
So,
it just keeps going.
It's too late. It's too late to apologize. I think that's even what I said.
I think I apologized later though, even though it was too late.
Yeah. God bless. See that? Now she's like backing away from the monitor. She's gonna quit. But yeah,
like, let me pull out a part where Matt sounded like a freaking idiot. Click.
All right, this one is episode 20. I think this was Conjectureland was our first Conjectureland.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Fire up the speculation machine real quick. What do you think it is?
Oh, hang on. We gotta come up with something here, man. We're going into conjecture land, Matt. Anything you or I say here cannot be used against us in the future.
I like how you're making like you're winding up an old film projector. Like
He totally did it. Yes.
oh, in the silent era, Charlie Chaplin did the like.
God,
A
totally
lot.
forgot it.
You want to know? Oh,
Totally
I know.
forgot.
Oh gosh. So,
So that was
I
the
totally
birth
forgot
of
that.
Conjectureland.
That is how it came to be. Wow.
I just remember because that's when like your mic was like right in front of you too, and you were just like this.
Oh
We're going
yeah.
to Conjecture Land. I was like, what is this motion you're doing? God bless.
Why is this happening?
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I love Conjecture Land. Ah, it's my favorite
Everyone
place to
does.
be. I wish we could just live there forever, and I could just
Mhm.
spout all the nonsense I want at
I
all
think
times.
those are some of my favorite episodes when you just go off on a rant, because I can just throw in so many different clips underneath you and just make it even more grand. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I love it there. It's the
You
best
probably
place.
never heard any of them because you don't listen to the show.
I don't listen to the show. I have no idea what goes on.
Now, see,
I've
there's
listened-
another favorite part of the show for me is when when we're on for Borderlands night. I'm like, hey, Eric, how'd you like when the music I put in there? Oh yeah, it was great. You had like Stephen King music. I'm like, nah, dude, that's
No.
Yep.
listen
No, we
tomorrow. Oh
listen.
yeah, I'll listen to it.
Sure,
tomorrow.
buddy. Got you covered.
Yeah, you had that rock and roll guitar. No, it's just
Mm.
man.
Yep, no. I've listened to a few of them, and I'm trying to remember why, but there were a few that I popped in and took a peek at. I think it was like some of the ones you guys were really badgering me about, but
Yeah.
I hate myself, so I tend not to listen to myself because I have to listen to myself in the here and now all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't like going back and doing it over and over again. Although I will admit this is fun because I'm like, wow, I don't remember that. Wow, that's how
Mhm.
Conjecture Land was made.
Mhm.
Holy crap.
Mhm.
How was that? I didn't remember doing it.
And see, that's every episode for me because I immediately forget what we talk about. I'm like, what did we talk about on that show? Oh yeah, I guess I did do that last week. That was pretty fun.
Oh my god.
Like a goldfish. 1 hour later, you don't know what you did. Oh, well, it's all right.
For this specific thing, yes. For some reason, it's just I'm just hanging out with Eric. What do we talk about? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. We're just rolling.
I mean, I know the patch notes and stuff. We did that, but
Yeah.
whatever side discussion we had,
Mm-mm. Well, I hope we have many more Conjecture Lands. You know why? Because it's the best.
Mhm.
And I hope, and also, I'll say this, because when we do Conjecture Land, that means there's something happening. That means we got a tidbit, we got a nugget, there's something in the future that's being teased or possible, and that's when we hit that boat, get on it, and we go cruising out there. So that for me is always a highlight because I get all excited, my hopes soar, and everything goes just to the heavens, and it never pans out. But that's all right.
let's see the evolution of Conjecture Land shows how smooth a ride it's been for us. We started off, oh, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's the Conjecture Land. Now it's dark, there's cannibals, we're like in the muddy shallows, like barely touching our
Forgot about
toes to the
that.
land.
There's a little cave there that we keep hiding with these other carcasses of people who got caught. And it's a bad place, man.
Mhm.
We like push Danny out of the boat, leave her on Realism Rock, and maybe
Mhm.
cannibals get her. I don't.
Which, a side note, I've said it before and I'll say this again. When we had Sean on, and of
Mhm.
course, we're going out on the boat, and Sean just refused to join us. He just refused. He sat there on Realism Rock the whole time. Just, we'll be lucky to get anything. That's not Conjecture
What's your
Land,
pie in
Sean.
the sky craziest idea? Maybe they say 2 words at the press conference. Well, come on, man. What?
Give out a loot apocalypse. That's probably the best you're gonna get. Well, I don't like you out here in Conjecture Land with us, Sean.
He's a transplanted cannibal. He just wanted to get home to see his
That's what it
people.
was. He just needed to get back out to the island. He had too many beers out in the raft, fell asleep, fell in the water, came out to mainland, and it's
Mhm.
like, oh God, damn it, Sean. God.
Sean the transplanted cannibal.
Oh man. All right, so this is infamous, and I know we've talked about it several times because we couldn't remember what episode it was from or what episode it got cut from. So this is one of the nights that you guys, it was a late night record because it was It was quarter end. It had to have been quarter end. So I'll just let you listen.
Okay.
Episode 37, Supercharged. Nope. Wrong one.
I have a better option. Okay. God, what could be? All I have to do is finish the job and go insane. I'm so close. I'm so close. I have more killing to do first, Matt.
So speaking of insanity, you two listeners out there can join the insanity of the Imposter's Guide to Gaming with our latest episode, episode 3, that dropped on Tuesday. Check it out.
Oh my god.
That's how you do it.
Uh,
Oh, God, it's terrible.
Yeah, that's definitely a late nighter right there.
oh yeah.
The insane laughter is just the sign.
I missed those.
It's still going.
It's still going.
It's not done yet.
What the fuck kind of segue?
Oh, this is it.
It's gonna make you set your cat on fire and throw
Fire Jen, man. Fucking IG2G. Oh, it's terrible.
I can't even do anything.
My god.
I still have more killing to do. Hey, speaking of
I had to try and salvage it. We were going too far. We were going too far down the hole.
IG2G has all your fucking things you need.
Speaking of killing, you're gonna want to kill us after you listen to IG2G, because we fucking suck.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's the best.
Oh, good luck, Danny.
Yes.
It's not done yet.
It's never done.
So I think that was actually a decent segue for IG2G if you can cut it up well enough, Danny.
Yeah, it'll work. Yeah. It'll work.
Listen to IG2G, blah, blah, blah. Start coming back from the laugh riot.
Jesus Christ. Alright.
Cut 'em up next week? I don't think we have anything yet. Unless somebody... What? What?
I don't think we have
I'm just doing it all over real life.
No, I'm talking about next week, Tuesday episode.
You're just like, oh, I don't know what we got. For nothing.
That was the
Together,
best.
Eric, you can't do this to me.
I told you.
It's first
I
episode
told you
where
I was close. I told you before this all began.
Hey, there's
Uh,
literally nothing. See you next time. Alright.
Jesus Christ.
I mentioned. I said I was close. I said insanity was at the door. I don't know why anybody expected any less.
That was generations ago on the podcast. That's when I recorded over in my like entryway in like the parlor area over there. And I had this desk in front of my bedroom door. I like rolled it out to do it there because I remember doing it in like that rickety old chair I used to podcast in. That was forever ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm-mm. Good memories.
Awesome.
Oh, good times. We gotta do some more of those like 11 p.m. quarter end.
I
recording.
literally can't do that, Eric.
Ah.
Well, oh no, I could. It has to be every other quarter end. Because I
Mhm.
go in at 8 some on the other shifts. There we go. Oh,
So great.
I'm like sweating.
I know, right? It's too much. It's too much.
Man, we got a long ways to go, don't we?
I was gonna
Mhm.
say we might have to cut this shorter. I don't know about no 2-hour episodes.
No, we got to do it. Danny's got a whole extra day. She's fine.
Yeah, it's a big episode. We got this.
All right,
All right.
I'm down.
I can laugh for another whole hour. It's fine.
Sweet. Let's do it. All right. This is episode 45 called Amish Eric.
I have a better option. Okay. Matt, you know me. You know, I like to lie and then tell you I lied a minute later. You know, that's kind of my jam. I love doing that. It's fun for me.
That's true.
So, Alani is gullible as hell. She knows almost nothing about anything. So I said, well, bam, she would be great. Go out to a bar with her, have some beers. First off, she's getting crazy and weird as hell. Secondly, anything I tell her, she'd believe. So I could just make up story after story to my heart's content, and she would just be sitting there, just loving it, digging it all, having a blast. So I said, you know, it's got to be a line. Then you mentioned something, and I was like, you know what a good idea. Our boy Pendles, he loves murdering. I love murdering. Man, you put Alani and Pendles together, mortal enemies. I'm telling stories, lying my face off to Alani. Me and Pendles are just talking about murdering people all night long. I'm watching as those two are trying to kill each other from under the table the whole night, and I'm just laughing. That's a perfect night.
I'm just picturing Alani shooting one hand under the table, going pew pew pew, and Pendle's shooting one tentacle on the table, like throwing a throwing star
My
back.
feet are soaking wet and keep getting hit by shurikens. There you go.
What the?
You just buy some greaves. Just wear some greaves when you're there. Clink, clink.
That's
Come on, man. Come on.
That's
Gotta wear my
everything.
steel toes, man. You know, gotta wear the steel toes. Safety first.
Oh man.
I forgot all about that story. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going.
No, do it.
All right.
Do it. Heck yeah.
Episode 57. Brrr. That's all it is.
This is the prayer.
That's the best.
Oh, I love it.
It's just good every time.
Now see, since nobody knows the backstory of that, that was just a, hey, we have to test Audacity, make sure everything's working before we start recording. And went, brrrr. And I went, no, save that. We're using that for something. Save it and put it in the Dropbox because we're using that. And now it's made its way back twice now.
Yeah, it has.
Oh, perfect.
Episode 66, Slurp Juice.
Sounds terrible.
Long ago, children, there is a tale. Something that happened. A little boy named Bimmy, he said, wow, I'd love to get on the old internet and create a cool thing like a podcast or a stream. This would be fantastic, he says. So he worked real hard. He scrounged his money and he bought himself a microphone and he bought himself cameras and all the other things, the wonderful little things that make the Audacities and the other things, you know, all of you streamers with this stuff. He bought these things and he found them and he made a product and he put the product out there and people started commenting like, this thing is trash. This thing.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's interesting. Like,
He put the product out there, and people started commenting like, "This thing is trash. This thing's poo poo, caca." They said all the negative things. Very bad for him. Very bad. But at the time, there was nothing else they could do but say these things. It meant nothing in the long run. Nothing. So, the devil, being the clever bastard he is, he was watching this. He was watching closely. And he saw others start to make these podcasts and these streams and these YouTube videos. And guess what? He said, I've got an idea.
That's Eric's laugh.
That's Eric's laugh.
So I think that was probably one of the first 5-star.
That was the first
stories.
5-star.
That was the start of it.
okay.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of it. Oh yeah. Oh, I love that story. I sat there just imagining that one for weeks, just going in my head, just pulling it all together. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. Oh, I love this. I can't wait. It's gonna be the best thing ever. Oh, I'm so glad we've continued on with the 5-star stories.
Me too.
I love them. I love them so much.
And after we did Danny's on the last episode or episode 2, it was the last episode.
One,
Yeah.
yep.
Very last episode. All day at work after I listened to it, I was plotting my own 5-star story in my head and taking it to like grander and more dark, devious and despair-inducing places. I'm sitting there at work, just this horrible story running through my head. Like, hey, you want to do this?
No, you don't want to be where I am.
Why don't you go clean out the baler? I'll
What you
take care of this.
Go do a tedious task and leave me alone.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what I promised the boys and girls. I think I got one I'm supposed to have lined up here before summer's over. So hopefully you get one before that.
Well, see, I'm one because mine's going to be like an epic.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I should just.
Nice.
I want to pre-record it because it'll be a future Matt story, like
Mhm.
looking back on the 5-star saga. So I don't know if I should just like pre-record it all and like have Danny dump it in the show, but then you wouldn't be able to hear it. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how big it gets because I got grand visions. Maybe it'll just be chunks.
Nice.
Oh,
I like it.
I have such a good idea to tease it for the up to it too. Oh, it's good. It'll be good.
Perfect. I've got a couple short stories I want to tell, and then maybe you're right. Maybe it'll be time to begin the overarching series. You know, maybe that'll be what we do. My favorite though is I'm hoping that in Conjectureland and the whole 5-star saga, we get Randy Pitchford's 5-star. We need that 5-star.
We do need that 5-star.
You started with your little chomping and your little nibbling and biting at it, but now I'm hungry. I want that 5-star.
And we have somebody else who's hungry too, which we'll get to later in the episode. Oh, Tease
Exactly.
Jones over here. Oh my God.
Which will be another hour from now.
Hey, I got nothing better to do. I'm off tomorrow. Screw it.
I gotta go camping in the morning.
Ooh, way gotta drive a truck.
You're right.
All right. Next one is from episode 78, Valentine's Day.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Clunk. Let me put my soapbox down. Let me get up on my soapbox.
Oh, yes.
I got
Yes.
issues with a lot of stuff that goes on in like the movie industry and the Hollywood industry. But one of my pet peeves, biggest pet peeve ever, I'm just going to say it real quick, then we can move on. I f***ing hate the whole trend of, oh, let's take a classic song and have someone sing it like in a minor key and make it all serious weird. Like the Pure Imagination song from f***ing Willy Wonka that is the trailer song for this new Ready Player One trailer. Stop it. Stop it. I'm f***ing sick of it. That's a lot of beep Danny's going to have to put in. That's how strongly I feel on my soapbox. Tired of
Compose something original. Compose something original.
Or gosh, there's tons of serious songs that have been on and on throughout history. Just pick one of those. Don't get let's get this like operatic sort of singer to like sing it in like a real melancholy tone of voice.
I remember where
Like,
this is going.
I'm wondering when it's gonna be. You know, they're gonna have like a Barney Goes Mad movie, but it'll be like the Barney song, but they'll go, "I love you, you love."
You know how awesome that would be in an awesome horror movie?
I was
You know what
just
I'm
thinking
saying?
that, actually.
Some kind of
That's
weird
exactly what I was
Valentine's
thinking.
like Slaughterfest film. And then there's like, I love you, you love. And then they flash to like her eyes being gouged out or something crazy. And then like a Valentine's card getting stuffed into her head, you know? Oh, yeah.
See, they don't make good horror movies anymore, so it'd have to be like, oh no, I'm a teenager who's scared of hearts. So I saw a heart and I went, ah! And there was a jump scare of a heart on, somebody put a heart on like a window and I went, ah!
And then they talked about how it made her feel, and then they worked their way through it with some
I
therapy.
forgot about this deep.
And she realized it was really her mother who put a heart. She pinned a heart pin on her, and it stuck her once. And she, ow,
Yes.
traumatic experience. And I worked my way through it.
Yeah, and ever since then, she's been very deathly afraid of her mother and hearts.
Oh, but her mother lives in the walls. Like she thought she was dead a long
Yeah,
time
and
ago.
then
we gotta go there.
she was in the walls because she didn't want to agitate her daughter more and make
She
her
was putting her words out. Like, look, I'm still around.
I'm still here supporting you in the background.
She went
But you thought I was
They
some
hug-
kind of
they
demon
hug
in the
at the
walls. Yeah,
They hug when she's graduating
the
high
walls.
school at the end.
there it
Did
is.
it. Yay, we're
Because
back.
you want to make sure it's a good ending. Going off
that's
to college fixed, mentally, physically, emotionally, ready to go into that college life.
There we go. Perfect. We just made
See?
another movie.
Awesome.
We
Nuke
did.
Nuke
That's a
already.
good
Now we
goddamn.
made Valentine's
Nuke and
Day.
Duke. There it is.
Hollywood.
We made
Just
Nuke
call
and
us
Duke.
up.
Oh god.
When you said it was from episode Valentine's Day, I was like, what the hell was this episode about? Where did the title come from?
That's where the
Now
title
I
came
remember.
from.
Awesome.
Oh,
Oh, that
God.
was great.
Now, see,
Yeah.
when I put my soapbox down, I thought it was going to be the Gearbox Forum soapbox, and I went, oh, ha, ha, ha.
Uh-huh.
And then it was totally different.
Totally
I'd totally
different.
forgotten about this. Oh,
Oh, that was good. I as usual, I had no idea what I was saying. Like, what am I talking? Oh my god, it's gold. Yes. Oh, I just love it. I love it. It got better and better. It's just it's so good. I love it. Like you said earlier, it's just like I'll pick a chunk, he picks a chunk, and then we just
Yup.
all of a sudden, grade A storytelling right there.
yep.
Best of the best.
Let's see. Episode 83 called Cut from the Show, and this is actually one that hasn't been released yet. So.
Brigade,
Brigadoon. Brigadier General.
I'm so excited about her. Side note, super excited about her. But then I was like, Bridget, cool name, I like it. No, it's Brigay or Brigigunga. No, Jesus Christ, can't we just have a name? Can we just have a name?
It's Brigitte. It's Scandinavian-ish.
It's like
not that big a
Brigitte, yeah, like Brigitte. And I'm like, no, just fucking Bridget. It's fucking Bridget.
It's fucking Bridget.
You mispronounce everyone's names anyway.
I know, yeah. So for me, it doesn't
Moria.
really matter. Moria.
Oh, here comes Junkrat. He got me with his hook again.
The fuck are you talking about, Dad? You know what I'm talking about.
I love to. I'm so excited for her. Now she's the bane of everyone's existence.
Exactly.
Goddamn broccoli casserole.
Broccoli casserole, always here, ruining the day. Ah. Nobody
Oh,
likes a
so
broccoli
good.
casserole. Nobody.
Actually, Mom makes a really good broccoli casserole for Thanksgiving. It's
God
fantastic.
Damn it, Matt.
What do you want from me? It's delicious. Props to you, Mom. Thanks for that awesome broccoli casserole every year.
Oh,
right,
maybe I'll have to
so-
save a piece for me. Side note.
This nice. This last one's gonna be kind of long. It was from episode 94, The Future. And it was our little future segment, which I thought was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
And we've had future problems just on this episode. Sheesh. We seem to do this a lot. It's weird. Time jumping shit. Jesus.
Here in the future, hope is a fragile thing. In the war against the machines, sometimes it's the only thing that keeps you going. John Connor knows this. He tells us we've got to keep hope alive. We've got to remember the good things from the olden days. That's why we keep the Battleborn free rotation alive here in the future. This week's
Loving Eric's
rotation,
reaction.
it's Montana,
Don't laugh at that.
Galt, Pendles, Oscar Mike, and Miko in a war-torn future where the man next to you could be a Terminator. Sometimes Battleborn is all we have left. What do you think of this lineup, future Eric?
It's me, Captain Badenback. This is the only reprieve I get anymore.
tin heads took over the world. It's been a miserable place. But let me tell you, we fought them tooth and nail day and night. And let me say that we ain't dead yet. We're still here fighting that good fight. And you know, thank the gods for that magical man, Randy Pitchford, because somehow he fortified that Gearbox studio and he kept Battleborn running for the masses out there. And now, what remains of the humans? Well, all's we got is a little Battleborn and that free rotation to look forward to anymore. Once I lost my family and my eye, I have none left but the damn whiskey and Battleborn. So here I sit once again in this little journal, telling you all about this wonderful rotation. And let me say, out of the characters this week, well, I don't like Oscar Mike very much anymore. Because when the Tin Heads took over, we tried to clones ourselves, and, well, it didn't work out. Most of them didn't want to fight. They wanted to be peaceful. They wanted to have all the things all the normal people before the Great War had, and it didn't work, so we had to kill them all and scrap it, because there wasn't enough food to go around. So let me say, Galt and Montana are the only true warriors here. They're the only ones with guns. They're the only ones willing to fight, ready to go. They got the shotgun and the dang minigun, and that's a great thing to have when the tin heads are at your backs, breathing down your throats, ripping your heads off. So I'll say, if you're gonna play Battleborn and you get your 5 minutes before you're back on the front lines, trying to keep those dang robots away from the people that you care about, well, it's gonna be Galt, Montana for sure this week, boys and girls. I hope whoever's still alive out there hears this and has a little bit of fun in those few minutes of reprieve you get. Captain Batten, out.
Oh my god.
War.
Oh.
Terrible war. This was the uprising that rocked our universe. 5 factions rose up from the ashes, and a new era was born. The era of the Battleborn. And so it was decreed that 30 heroes from the various factions of Solus would offer up in tribute to fight to the death a pageant of honor, courage, and sacrifice. The victor, bathed in XP and loot boxes, would serve as a reminder of how Battleborn is a team game. This is how we remember our Battleborn. This is how we safeguard its future. In the 23rd week of 2018, my choice of tribute for the Battleborn free rotation is, of course, Pendulous. Happy curb stomping, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
I was just saying that while you did that. I was like, she totally went for the Hunger Games and this. Oh yeah, that's awesome. It's like, oh god, that's great.
Now, I'm glad you picked this to show this off, because this spins into one of my favorite things that I never would have gotten into without the podcast is, you know, I've been putting like themes on the different blue reels and kind of the patron bonus stuff, and just like mixing either sound effects or music in with, you know, whatever we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It hits that creative spark. It's just like, oh man, what would go perfect with this? Like the whole why can't we be friends patron bone, the blooper reel thing that I did,
Yeah.
where I cut a bunch of the bloopers where we're just crapping on each other. Why can't we be friends? Just slowly panning up until it took over the thing and ended the show with that. There's just something about that just gives me such a creative high. I just love it. It's like when I was putting together that future segment, it's like, oh, like a Terminator thing. I'm like, oh, well, let me pull up the future war scene from Terminator 2, grab the sound clips of that, put it in, mix it down, cut it up, put it over here. So good. Love that stuff. I love it.
I just thought we all, because we didn't talk to each other about what we were going to do, really.
Mm-mm.
It was just, you know, put together your shtick for this whole thing. We had to do separate stuff. I just love how we all went with dystopian future you know,
Yeah.
this is messed up world in which somehow Battleborn and Gearbox had survived. It's like, and I'm just like, yes, perfecto.
Yeah, nobody picked like a Tomorrowland future, no happy.
No,
Just,
never a
hey,
happy
people
future.
are gonna die and be murdered. It's gonna be great. Okay.
This is how we do it.
I think my only directions were a sci-fi future. That's it.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
Oh, it was perfect. God, Terminator, Battlestar Galactica, and Hunger Games. God, it doesn't get better than that. Yeah, the minute you said sci-fi, obviously you should have known,
Oh, yeah.
like
Well,
the
yeah.
moment one, exactly who I was going to be.
Mhm.
Just me on my TV form. I mean, that's quite literally what it is. It's just
Oh man.
so we did it. We got through all those. See, Danny, it didn't take another hour. It just took 40 minutes or so.
Yeah.
We still got more to do
I was
though.
gonna say we still got a whole bunch
Holy
more.
God, we're still going. This, hey, this
But
is the
wait,
song that never
there's more.
ends, and it goes on and on, my friends.
Well,
Some
hey,
people-
we'll never have to go this late again until episode 200, so
that's true.
it's perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine. I just keep drinking more, and eventually I won't remember what's happening. It'll be great.
Well, if we go for like another half hour, I'll have to go get a beer out of the fridge, but
Okay.
for now I'm good. Maybe it'll have like purple floaties in it that time.
Delicious. Scrumptious. When you said last, you tricked me, Danny. Just so you know, you're like a little trickster. You're like
It's
the last one.
clip.
What's the last
okay.
clip for the show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. So
Yeah.
we're moving on to the next segment. Ah.
What's the next segment?
I don't know.
Oh, Matt was hyping it up. What was Matt hyping up?
What you got,
Well,
Matt?
what I was hyping up was I put out the call on Patreon. I put it out on Twitter. I put it out on Facebook. I put it out via text to my friends. I put it out via my mouth to a relative of mine. And I said, hey, hey, all you suckers out there that love Third Shift. It's episode one freaking gosh darn golly jeepers 100. As I said already, we want feedback from you guys. What do you love about the show? How'd you get into the show? What are you hoping for the future of the show? Or hey, if you just want to say congrats and we're awesome, we love praise. We love good vibes. We love good things. We want to know if you guys care enough to give us those things. And hey, spoiler alert, they did. We got all kinds of good stuff. I don't know if Danny wants to intro each one, but I mean, we got them for
You want
everybody.
me to do this?
However you want to do it, just do it.
All right.
Do it up. I mean, you got to give us intros. Like, who is?
Well, no, I'm just
Could
gonna
it
play
be?
it.
Just play it, random voice in the ether. So I
I mean,
reached
that's
out to
fine.
some of the people I knew too. I was like, hey guys, it's like 100 episodes. You want to do anything? They were like, what?
What?
What are you talking about?
100
Well,
episodes of what?
you know that podcast I do? What?
What?
What? So that's the response I generally got. Cause all my people around me, they all evil bastards.
That last game night I went to, they were like, "Oh, how's that podcast doing?" Yeah, great. We're almost to episode 100. Oh yeah, wow. And then PX was like, "Oh, I haven't listened to one since I quit." Well, no shit, idiot. And then I looked over at Ashley, and she's like, "I think I'm on episode like 6." And Kevin was like, "Yes, I'm on like 8." I'm like,
Wow.
well, thanks, guy. I appreciate your downloads, but
Yeah. So far. Oh my god.
uh,
All right. So I think this was our first message at all, was from Sean Hegarty at
Heck
10K
yeah.
Beers.
the transplanted cannibal.
That's right.
He's been revealed. He's been unmasked. His tribal mask has been ripped off.
His jagged teeth and his bloody lips.
Take his words with a grain of salt. He wants to eat us.
Thought you were a friend.
Well, boys and girls. Third Shift turns 100 episodes old. Happy episode, birthday, centennial day. But seriously, I've been listening since the very early days of the podcast, and I've laughed along the way with Eric, Matt, and Danny the entire time. I started being a Borderlands and Battleborn Uber fan. I got sucked into Third Shift by my need for the content and and for news on these games that I loved. But all this time later, I realize I'm really in it just to hear you guys get together and discuss your week and each other and make each other laugh, which in turn makes me laugh. And so I wanted to thank you guys for 100 episodes of laughter and fun. Some of my favorite moments, obviously, would be episode 43. That would be the Taze for Days Cleese Deep Dive episode, which was co-hosted by me. Obviously, that's a classic third shift episode. Also, anytime Danny's on the show, it's always fun for me. Her nervous giggling in the background just makes me laugh too. And other things I love to hear from you guys is your stories on your drunken Borderlands nights. You guys have always had such great stories of fun times you've had, and I come from that background of playing with the same two guys on our regular night. Shout out Moose Man and Donut Home.
Donut Home, Moose Man.
Least favorite thing about the show? I got nothing. It's a great show, and I love what you guys do. I just keep hoping that you guys continue to be real and authentic like you always are, and I'll keep coming back, and hopefully we get 100 more episodes of Third Shift. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Man,
Thank
oh
you.
man, thank you, Sean.
And there will be 100 more episodes.
Oh yeah.
There'll be 200 more and 300 more, and it'll never stop. I'll be here
Everyone will
forever.
get sick of Third Shift. Oh, unsubscribe.
Long after you're all dead, I'll still be podcasting Third Shift.
So I know we've said it before on the show, but in case anybody didn't know, Sean is the very first person who ever listened to the podcast, at least as far as we're aware. Because once we released episode 1, we immediately got feedback from him saying, "Hey, don't worry about the first show jitters, guys. It was a great show. Keep on doing what you're doing." So it was like immediately we're like, here, have our baby. Will you treat it nice? And immediately someone went, "Yeah, I'll treat it nice. You guys are awesome." I'm like, "Oh man, Sean, you're the best." And I will say, speaking of that Taste for Days episode, I remember having to edit that thing. That thing was ridiculously long. It took forever. I was working the midnight shift, and not only did it take Sean like 7 hours to upload his part of that episode because he got that country boy internet special that Eric's got, but I remember going over to the Chick-fil-A just down from work, and I was like, "Yeah, order some breakfast food and post up there," and I was there for like 4 to 5 hours editing that freaking show.
Oh, wow.
I was like, "I can't be here anymore. I gotta go home."
Chick-fil-A.
And it was
not my
another
life.
half hour once I got home. And I was like, "It's done. Go. I never want to edit a podcast again. I'm done."
Oh God, that was great. I do remember. Now you mentioned that. I remember, that sucked, man. That sucked. Oh, we're not doing another guest for a while, man. Don't even try it. All right.
It was just fun because it was like, well, I'm on third shift, so during my downtime, I can, start editing it. And it was just that, well, I got, 800 megs of WAV file to upload. And my internet's pretty bad, so I'm just watching the Dropbox. Just every 5 minutes, refresh. I guess I got to work for a minute. Refresh, still nothing. Oh my God. But thank you for the feedback, Sean.
Thank you,
Totally
Sean.
appreciate it. You're a cool guy. You're not really a transplanted Campbell, except we know you are.
Exactly. And of course, as per usual, I'll be seeing you in game here shortly in a little bit. Sometime this weekend, hopefully. Got some Borderlands to get done. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. All right, this next one is from Hunter Cochran. He's also one of our firsties, I think.
Freaking Hunter.
Pretty, yeah.
Wow.
Hello,
Disdainful
Third
even
Shift.
before
It's
he
your
says
friend
it.
Hunter, aka generic tag, sending a message of congratulations on your big 100th episode. It's made me very happy to be a friend and fan of the show since I first heard about you guys through the Gearbox forums when